So hey guys, it's Dana from Pitchless Podcast, and I'm here right now with Anna Vaus.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for being on. So we were just talking. You're about to play at the Acoustic Corner, and you played a bunch this weekend already.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this your first CMA Fest playing?
I feel like every year feels like the first year. So I played a year ago. I played at Ole Red, and 2 years ago I played the Acoustic Corner through ASCAP. But this is like my first like official, I feel like, CMA stage.
Yes, I love that. So your story getting started in the industry is unique, to say the least. So can you tell our listeners a little bit about getting signed to a publishing company while still in college?
Yeah. Yes, I feel like I got really lucky. Miranda Lambert created a scholarship my sophomore year that awarded a female that was pursuing songwriting and music business tuition to continue to go to school. And so I was the first recipient of that, which is crazy. And then not too long after, I signed my first publishing deal at Black River. I did a songwriting internship there, which is not really a thing.
Right.
But I had said, I was like, I need to do an internship to graduate.
Right.
And they were like, what if you wrote songs and you got school credit for it? So
that's incredible.
It was a dream. So I feel like I'm just living the dream, literally.
Yes. So, and that was 2 years ago, or?
Yeah, so I just started the third year of my deal. I signed at the end of my junior year. So my senior year, I was doing all of the things at once.
How was trying to concentrate on finishing school while being signed?
It was really hard. And the thing is,
because I know a lot of people would have just been like, well, I'm out.
My gosh, I know. And like, thankfully, because of the scholarship, I felt like, okay, well, I have the financial ability to be able to finish. And
for sure.
School is really important to me. But I had saved all of my general education classes. So marketing, biology. So I was sitting in biology at 11 a.m., like making like viruses out of pipe cleaners and then going to a write 15 minutes later.
That's insane.
It was wild, but very fun.
Yeah. So how has your life changed since then?
It's changed and it hasn't changed. I feel like I've been playing music with all of the same people, which has been really fun, but I've gotten to write more and kind of figure out more of what I want to say as an artist.
Definitely.
And kind of own the artist thing more. I was a songwriting major at Belmont, and so I was like, all I want to do is sign a publishing deal when I graduate, and all I want to do is be a songwriter. But thankfully, I had some different people that said, you want to be an artist, though. Like, you want to be an artist.
Yes.
And so just leaning into that and feeling inspired by different people that I'm around and that I listen to has been fun to figure out what the live performance looks like.
Definitely. And you stole my next question. So I was going to ask you, have you always dreamed of being a songwriter, first of all? And, when did you kind of realize, I want to be an artist and I want to pursue that too?
I think deep down, I've always wanted to be an artist, but when I moved to Nashville, it was terrifying because everyone is incredible. Everyone's an amazing singer. And so I was like, the thing that I can focus on is writing songs. And the artists that I love are songwriters first and foremost, like Brandy Clark and Casey Musgraves.
Yes.
So they're incredible. So I just wanted to focus on that. And there wasn't like a specific moment, but there were definitely a few people that said, look, if you want to do it, you should just try it. Like there's no harm in trying and failing completely because you'll always have songs to fall back onto. And so
definitely.
Yeah. So it's been fun.
Yeah. And how long had you been doing music? Like, have you been singing your whole life or?
Yeah. So my dad is actually, when I was growing up, he was a children's country artist by the name of Buck Howdy.
Oh my God. I love that.
It was like so mortifying as a child, but like he wore like all of the sequin suits and the fringe and all that. And at the time this was the most embarrassing thing ever.
Of course.
But now it's so cool because I'm like borrowing his Western shirts and his bolo ties.
Yes,
and
I love that.
So I was just around music and loved it. And he introduced me to people like Brandy Clark and Casey and fell in love with those artists because of him. So I've always been singing and writing songs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe it runs in your blood.
Yeah.
So you put out your first EP last year with the lead single Day Job.
Yes.
Which I love that song and the video.
Yes.
It's so fun. It's a little bit like retro. I just love it.
Thank you.
So what was the story behind writing that song and who'd you write it with?
So I wrote it by myself. So everything on the EP.
That's impressive to begin with in this town. So.
Yeah, everything on that EP I wrote by myself except the California Kid, which it was really fun to get to put out stuff that is directly like my heart just put onto a piece of paper.
Sure.
But gosh, I don't know. I just wrote it like boys are kind of lame sometimes. And I feel like I tend to overthink situations. And so at the time I was like, man, I'm wasting a lot of time on this boy. And I could probably make some money if I went out and found an occupation. But, you know, it worked out.
I love that so much. So obviously you're kind of a brand new artist. Mm-hmm. So you have the freedom to go a lot of different directions. So where do you think you're going next, and what do you want your musical style to be like?
Yeah, that's a great question. And like an exciting question, because I feel like it's currently a blank canvas in a way where I am like a baby artist. Right. And like I could walk out into the audience of the Acoustic Corner and people would be like, I don't know who that is. But it's fun because I don't know. I would love for my music to represent traditional country, because that's what I love, but I also think there's room just to grow and kind of create a new path for myself. I'm really inspired by like John Mayer, what he does.
Yes, I love him.
I think he's really cool, but also Glenn Campbell and the Beach Boys, and so kind of roping in all of my influences, whereas the EP was my country influences. I'm like, well, I grew up listening to a lot of stuff, so just being able to pull in everything that I love and put it into a song is kind of the goal. Sure.
Yeah. So what advice would you have for, maybe college students who are kind of in the same position as you were, to be able to do something like you did? And
gosh, one thing that my dad told me when I first got to Nashville and I was stressed out, I get stressed too easily and I call my parents crying too often.
Sounds familiar.
It's a common theme in college. I feel like that's just the thing.
Yes.
But one thing my dad said to me was just do one thing every day that gets you closer to your goal, whether that's writing one line of a song or it's sending an email that you're scared to send. So I tried to do that and I still try and do that. But also one thing, and it sounds so lame, but I'm such a believer in this, is just being yourself wholly and completely, because that is the only true thing that you can give the world that someone else isn't doing, which I think is a really special gift that we all have. So
definitely,
I would say just be yourself.
Definitely. And I think that, you being genuine comes out in your music.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much for being on Pitch List. I'm so excited for your show later.
Thanks. I'm excited too.
Yes, and have a great rest of CMA Fest.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Thanks for watching, guys. For more exclusive content from this year's CMA Fest, go follow us on social media or go to pitchlistpodcast.com. See you next year. Bye.